CNN just suffered devastating loss on live TV. Look what was caught mid-broadcast. Republicans swept both houses of Congress and won the presidency last November. Of course, we all hoped it would happen, but it seemed a little too good to be true. People speculated, but we all held our collective breath and waited for the other shoe to drop right up until the end. After the results were in though, and it really and truly went in our favor, the conservative base began to rejoice, and grow even stronger than before. We looked around and realized we weren't as much in the minority as we thought, and it's given us strength. So much strength, in fact, that a recent special election that was supposed to go to a Democrat once again surprised the nation and went to the Republican candidate. Turns out that America is done rolling over and taking whatever the liberals hand out. Here's what even the moderates said was going to happen in Georgia's special election.Via the Atlantic. After failing to win special elections in Montana and Kansas, Democrats hope to send a message that liberal discontent can win congressional seats in the highly anticipated race for Georgia's 6th congressional district. The special election between Democrat Jon Ossoff and Republican Karen Handel is down to the wire and too close to call as voters head to the polls on Tuesday to decide who will replace former Republican Representative Tom Price, who now serves as President Trump's Secretary of Health and Human Services. Polls indicate that Ossoff, a former congressional aide and virtual political unknown prior to the election, and Handel, a former Georgia Secretary of State, are locked in a tight race, despite the fact that the 6th district has been a reliable Republican stronghold for over a decade. Several public surveys have even shown Ossoff with a slight lead over the past month. A Democratic victory wouldn't significantly alter the balance of power in Congress, but could still deliver an immediate payoff for liberals. If Ossoff wins in a conservative district, congressional Republicans may become increasingly reluctant to support the president's agenda or take tough votes for controversial legislation, including the GOP effort to dismantle the Affordable Care Act. Republicans hope they can stave off an upset to send a message of their own. If the GOP prevails, it could reassure anxious congressional Republicans worried about keeping their seats. That might help Republican leaders keep members of their party in line by making it easier to prevent the kind of defections that could sink a legislative agenda. Even the moderate group said that Trump should have been losing the middle-of-the-road seats to the Democrats because he's shaken things up so much. They had so many hopes and dreams riding on this election that you almost feel bad for them. I said almost. The journalist, political pawns over at CNN obviously showed up thinking they were going to have a fun day at work, rubbing things in Republicans' faces. That didn't work out just the way they'd planned. The resulting disappointment was kind of hilarious to watch. Via Dennis Michael Lynch, they spent the past week projecting an easy win for Democrat Jon Ossoff and calling it a referendum on the president, but just like that crazy day back in November, the liberal cheerleaders at CNN were thrown into despair when the special election in Georgia's 6th congressional district was called for Republican Karen Handel. Daily Mail editor David Mardosco snapped a screenshot of their crestfallen expressions and posted the pic on his Twitter feed. The image went viral as conservatives seized the opportunity to hammer home the fact that CNN is not biased and does not actually practice journalism. View image on Twitter.